So welcome all you many people. This is an impressive turnout. Who has not been here before?
Well, I mean,
Wow.
in the last quarter
Doesn't-
century, I haven't been here.
Oh, ever.
You can go back further if you want.
This is my third time.
Yeah, I mean, 25 years ago.
And where did you hear about it?
That guy.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. So this is the Portland Linux Unix group. We're 30-some years old. I wandered along like early 2000s, I think, or maybe late 90s. I don't remember. It was too long ago. Doesn't count. So welcome. Great. Everybody's here. We have a speaker tonight. However, the speaker completion of the talking part is contingent on people volunteering to speak. So every one of these plug meetings, item number 1 on the list is you've got to have something interesting to talk about, and this is a great place to talk about it. And if you don't talk to me about talking, then we won't have a speaker. So it's on you guys to like either recruit somebody or be that somebody and get a hold of me, and we'll get you hooked up. I actually have somebody kind of on the line maybe for August, but that's a maybe still, and beyond that it's a gigantic chasm of no speakers. So this is my pitch for speakers. We also have a monthly clinic, like a repair clinic. We've been having it either at Willamette University's campus in the old EcoTrust building or at the Albina Branch Library. This coming month, we're going to be at the Albina Branch Library again. We have a nice room, holds 40-some people. People wander in, people come and help. If you want to do that kind of thing, you're welcome. If you have some problem you need help with, you're also welcome. It runs from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I don't know if who's been in the Albina Branch Library. Is a brand new branch.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's got these community rooms that got a glass wall. You can see what's going on inside. It's kind of cool. Yep. After this meeting, we go to a bar typically. I keep picking the same place because that means I don't have to think. But if anybody has ideas or suggestions or want to outvote Patty's, I'm all ears. So,
Maybe, I don't know. Just an idea, but
like the Market Street Pub
Yeah.
thing.
maybe not.
Yeah.
Let's pass.
Yeah.
Even though, like in the summer, they have a nice patio.
That's
so,
true.
You know,
That's true.
you can hang out on it.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Anyway, I'm open to ideas. We keep going there because it's not that far away, and again, I don't have to
You're
think.
really lucky getting that long table, too.
We do oftentimes get the long table, and it seats like 12 people or
Oh,
something.
it's Logical Friday. Oh, no.
What?
The World Cup.
It's an Independence Day. It's a Saturday,
Oh.
so a lot of people
Oh,
get
man.
together off.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we'll see. Oh, yeah, it might be a little busier. Anyway, who knows? If you need a ride, you can hang out after the talk, and I'll offer you a ride. I thought to put this up here. We, due to this guy right here, we not only have pdxlinux.org, but we've got linux.portland.or.us. It works for the major things, which is our website and our mailing list. You can mail to our mailing list there. The reply will come from pdxlinux.org, but you know, what can you do? So anyway, again, we have a speaker, and I'm going to let him introduce himself, and away you go.
Thank you, Russell. Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan. How many of you have met me face to face? At least twice?
Can I sneak by?
Few of you? Few. Okay. All right. I grew up here, and then I married foreign, and then I left for over a decade, and I came back, and so I can be an ambassador of culture and technology. And I think I spoke 25 years ago on IceCast. How many of you know about IceCast? Oh, gee, shucks. Well, I don't need to give that talk anymore. So I'll give it on Death and Digital Succession and Zombie ISP Fun, which is the title. It's my second title. I didn't bring the pizza because my pizzas are 25 years old. Little context here. I thought that it would be kind of cool. Part of it's death. This is a celebration of just like the footprint that we leave behind. This is a friend of mine who actually died a little over a month ago. And he was kind of my buddy that we would go to user groups. He was an Eagle Scout, and he was heavily involved in the Scouts. In fact, he was quite involved in Camp Meriwether, a beautiful camp on the coast. It was the 100th anniversary this year, so happy for him. He ran the Fear of Failure BBS. He was Charlie Brown into MST3K, and he was kind of a role model friend, which I really appreciate. One thing is he died of cancer. Cancer, he beat it back, and then it came back really quick, and then he was quickly dismissed from the hospital, going to hospice. And one of the things that I did, which I was really excited about, is I use this dumb doula word. Sorry, doula is not a dumb concept. I just apply it in terrible ways. I'm a broadband doula for friends, getting the best broadband. I've been mobile phone doula, all these other doulas. And I thought, oh, eureka, I am a digital death doula. And I went to my friend's house and really engaged with his widow and just made sure that all of his accounts were set up. All of those bills, utilities, all of these things, he was prepared to be able to hand over. And we never know how much time we have. This time last year, we had one more year than we have today. So make it all the most that you can. And I was really happy to see that Darren really left a good legacy. But we're not always perfectly prepared. I'm introducing you another person who I didn't know personally. I didn't know Prairie Nyx. And Prairie Nyx was formerly known as Jon Backstrom. So some people that were in the locality domain world knew them as John. But Prairie was also an Eagle Scout. Really, actually, can I just have a raise of hands? How many of you were Scouts or Eagle Scouts? Yeah, so isn't that funny? This is a large number. Prairie was a proud Scout and had tons of domain names and was a domain name registrar. So this domain name registrar was really both for commercial domain names, really popular in Iowa, registering lots of domains, as well as doing some locality domains. Now, before I get into locality domains, how many of you actually know or use locality domains? Any of you? 1, 2, very nice. Hello, yeah, okay. Well, if you've logged in here, you might be indirectly affected. It was really quite popular back in the day. In fact, I'll get into it. A little more context. We've all built our own infrastructure here. We're all being very, very creative with how we're building things, but maybe we're not so good about leaving documentation. This was like 3 days ago, and it's tragic. You don't have to read this. You'll probably get the slide some other time, or just search the title, which is just like my beloved partner is on a vent and probably going to die. I want to get these resources. How do I even do it? And that's heartbreaking to read, and it's probably something that we all need to kind of exercise our, maybe we should read some write some docs, do a what if. It doesn't have to be like a dead man switch or anything like that, but something to think about as we get older and as we want to care and take care of our digital legacy. And some things we probably want to delete or not want to have discovered because they're kind of our digital playground where we don't care that other people have experienced this. So think about these things. Okay, popping back off the stack, we go to the Backstrom family, Prairie Nyx's family. So Prairie died suddenly. It was a pacemaker complication, and Prairie had a heart attack, and the valiant firemen weren't able to save Prairie's life, and so it was the Backstrom family who were not deeply technical, who were kind of left to figure things out. And they knew that that Prairie had this domain registrar. They knew they had some hosting somewhere. They knew they had domains that they had to renew. And so they got letters of attorney, and thankfully the cloud providers had enough people die before that they could hand over management accounts without destroying any of these digital assets. But didn't have a list of all the domains. And so some of the domains just started expiring, and then nobody knew to renew them, and so some of them got lost. And I'll give an example of one of the lost ones, which might be a little bit of a wrinkle. But for the most part, the main hosting cloud account kept getting paid. And we're very thankful to Pam Backstrom, who was Prairie's widow, to do that. Also, one other thing, and any of you vintage computer enthusiasts? Any? Yeah, like old shit or connecting up new shit to old shit. That's a technical term. They got rid of multiple dumpsters full of vintage computer hardware in the house. So, wouldn't that have been nice to have gotten something just pristine and sweet and could be put back into use? Everybody knows who this guy is? No? It's another Eagle Scout. I'm not trying to promote scouting yeah, he was a little bit more than a Eagle Scout. He was basically one of the founding fathers or really kind of fundamental demigod of the community internet. And so I think he started IANA and really got this going. There's a higher resolution photo on Wikipedia, but you can see here's the US, and there's France, and there's UK, and here's all the internet connects, and it's just really cool. The fact that you can put the internet and be responsible for that. There's actually a local person here in town who's named Randy Bush. Does that name mean anything to people? Okay, some of you understand Randy Bush.
Hey, Randy.
Oh, yeah! Randy's here! Awesome!
Can't talk about it now.
Yeah.
I had the hope that he'd show up. Randy's in the Internet Engineering Hall of Fame. Well done. Yeah. So, I'll make the connection to Randy. So Randy was really responsible in bringing internet to Oregon. He co-founded the RAIN network, which was quite important. Brought internet to lots of the developing world, South Africa, maybe every continent, I don't know, but important figures. So Randy, thank you for your celebrity showing up. It makes a difference. And anyway, I'll talk about how I tried to engage Randy, and hopefully he liked my little peppering of to prove that I was legitimate. But yeah, we'll keep going. Okay, so prairie.net, if you go to prairie.net on your browser, you'll see a very old school, kind of frozen in 1999 HTML website. And that RFC 1480 that I was talking, that I didn't call out, that really defines kind of the .us and how we were to use it kind of in a geographic aligned way. And so you had these delegated administrators covering a lot of the domains. And most of the time, if it was just modems and UUCP and all of that, it was somebody responsible for that connection. And so usually it was somebody that was kind of ISP adjacent with a lot of networking. And Prairie had a number of these locality domains, really heavy in Iowa. Prairie was in Iowa. But Prairie went to high school, went to Benson like a couple years, and was very fond of Portland. So during kind of the 1990s kind of domain name land grab, Prairie just started grabbing some of the really interesting cities. And you'll see now, so this is then, and probably Prairie died in 2023. There were many users of these domains. And so when there was no response to updating records for domains, they would go to the actual .us registrar, and everybody can do their domain name .us nowadays, but they're the ones that can condemn and take over a domain. And when they do that, that means that you pretty much have to be a city in order to manage new domains. And so don't think that you can get your domain.manzanita.or.us, because then .us will require that you have a notarized and notarized letter from a city manager on city letterhead authorizing you to have that domain. So that's really painful. So localized domains are kind of a little bit of a treasure that are going away. So this is what we had then. This is really what we have now. So if you have any friends in Kansas City or Kansas City, Missouri, though, and there's no Kansas City, Kansas, unfortunately. Somebody else has that. Actually, I have to confess that there are some other domains that are not necessarily on here that Prairie had control of and that we do have control of now. So weirdly enough, I could put something on www.washington.dc.us, but I kind of don't want to do that because it might cause a little attention. So we'll might keep that domain a little dormant, but there's fun stuff in there. But we're in Portland, and Portland's a survivor. In fact, New York and Portland were kind of the main ones that I knew about. I did talk to one of the people using Atlanta, and he kind of recounted to me the way that they condemned that domain, which was a little sad. Okay, so timeline. Okay, so really, January 2025 rolls around. I'm not enjoying my day job, and I think, oh, what do I have to do? I should do some tidying up of my my delegated domain. And so I go, oh, well, the operator hasn't responded in a long time. And then I finally read the obituary. And unfortunately, I'm glad that they put in the former name of Prairie Nyx, because I probably wouldn't have been able to make the connection. So like all good social engineers and stalkers and whatnot, I started scouring any contact details for any next of kin. And I found one son who was also in Iowa and said, all right, hey, I'm this user. And when you're contacting family of somebody who had a technical asset, you really don't know if they understand or don't understand. And so I got a hold of a daughter and a son, and they were both like, okay, we'll introduce you to our mom, and hopefully that'll work. But it was good. She claimed that she was not technical, but she knew about domains and registrars and the difference between hosting and domain name registration, all that. And it was nice serendipity. It was really nice, but a lot of it is fleeting, and it's the availability and the patience of the other people. So I tracked down some of the other users, and I started saying, hey, I'm trying to get a hold, we're trying to get access to this so we can take down really the main people that were responsive were in Portland, New York. If you want a fun website, go to www.new-york.ny.us. There's something fun there that I created. I think the New Yorkers love it. So tracked them down, said, hey, here's what's going on. I started the searches to other localities, found one person that basically did that condemning of the domain, but they still have their locality domain. And then things kind of went quiet. And I was trying to say, hey, I'll take over hosting. Let's do that. Let's take over hosting. And she was like, well, I don't have any passwords, and that's fine. Maybe we can just put something in situ. Life can be good. And then it still went quiet. It was really quite quiet. 2026, hey, Happy New Year, blah, blah, blah. And then in May, I get the notification, I'm done paying the hosting bill. I'm done. I'm going to turn it off in June. And I went, hey, can we chat? Can we talk? And we talked on the phone, and we talked. We would correspond online, which was very good. But I was a little excited because at that point, I had been dealing with the .us registrar, and I kind of came to the conclusion that if this goes away, all of our domains go away. And that's sad. I mean, unless you're a city who can get around to notarizing your own declaration on city paperwork, and then you have your city domain back. Great. We're not a city. And really, .us was not really built for just being exclusively governmental. But when they took it over, when Newstar took it over in, I don't know, 2001, something around that time, they made compromises. And so this was kind of the unfortunate compromise, which means that some of the fun has been taken away out of the .us domain. So OK, I was like, OK, can you get me the login password for the management console, please? And just, crossing as many fingers and toes as I could. And she came up with it. She sent it to me. This is great. And so we got logged in, and it was awesome. And so then we were like, OK, well, now it's go time. We got to clean this stuff up. We thought that we could, suck down the old school way of being able to suck down zones is just by making an XFR request. And back in the old trusting internet, before there were passwords, you could download full zones, and then life was good. Well, this was modern internet, modern era, so that was nicely behind passwords. When I would talk to users, most of them were good. There was one individual who was really not helpful. Like, he would claim to help, but he was just irritating. Oh my goodness, yeah. For those of you that were on the thread, a lot of people were more reserved than they should have been. And then we didn't want to do bind. We wanted to have something that had a small footprint, something that was modern. NSDs sounded really cool. Not DNS seems really, really cool and quite probably overpowered for our needs, but we were impressed to learn about that feature. My partner in crime, Malin Smith, he's not here today, but he came from the world of DJB DNS. So Daniel J. Bernstein, he's really like almost like a flawless programmer, it feels like, but his tools have kind of atrophied, and they've gone a little bit outside of they're out of maintenance a little bit. And there's a little bit of there's kind of a discoordinated effort to keep that code alive, but it was time to kind of move on. So NSD was really a good enough compromise. Now, Prairie was using Google. There were mail servers on the system and database and cPanel and all this other stuff. We didn't know that at the time, but we didn't want to use Google Workspaces just to do email management. Also, when you're hostmaster at a domain, we don't know if we're going to get hundreds of emails, or thousands of emails, one email. So we kind of came to the conclusion to use Fastmail for the email. Yeah, and Fastmail's good. They're Australian. The bits are upside down. They stay in place. Yeah, exactly. So when you, yeah. So okay, any people know what this is? Anybody can anybody guess? Any old people? No, that's a clue. You have real hardware. Anyway, well, when you get real hardware, you'd have console, and you could type in enough commands to be able to basically get dumped to the file system and manually edit the root password or remove the root password, so you could log in and just run this root and see what's there. So we effectively did the same. We were very lucky that the instance, which was Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7, which is quite old, it hadn't been maintained since Prairie died in 2023. It was unencrypted. So do the grub, get in, and start digging away, seeing what's in there. It was really interesting. It was Prairie used cPanel to manage the system, which is very much a blast from the past. But if the tool works, then it works. But it also worked for making exploits. So, but the exploits were dormant, which was very interesting. So the critical information, which were the bind zone files, those were still around. They were still there. In fact, they are a wonderful read. So I am happy to share maybe the Portland domain if you want, and just read through just the beautiful layers of what had been added to that zone over the years. What we did was we copied we exfiltrated the data out. Very good, just being able to kind of cleanly copy the data, but didn't copy the exploits or the compromised MySQL server or anything like that. So that felt good. We have the new system. It was being hosted on Linode. And Linode has this wonderful, wonderful function that if you have two servers, you can click a button and it will immediately swap the IP addresses of the two. Wow, that is beautiful. I come from AWS. I'm sure there's a complicated version of that for EC2, but for Linode and what it offered, really impressed. DigitalOcean doesn't have that. And any of the tier 3 providers, I didn't see something with that same functionality, and I was super happy to have discovered that. Oh yeah. So what we used to have is we had this 4 gig multi-core, 80 gig like it was probably like $32 a month, and it was running all sorts of stuff. And it was running a mail server because but Prairie was using Google Workspaces for like official Prairie.net stuff, so it was just too much. We went, okay, no, we're going to make it small. So we got a Nano, 1 gigabyte, 25 gig SSD. I mean, zone files are small, really small files. You don't need a ton of space. We moved to Fastmail for mail. I should have, we were doing this quick because we wanted to deploy something really fresh and new and just get it going. Oh yeah, one more thing is Prairie.net the domain had expired like 2 days prior. And so all of the domains were kind of in this terrible limbo. 3 days? How many days was it? Yeah, it was 3 days. Not fun. And it was holy moly, let's get Pam on the phone and log into 2Cows and renew the domain. And so yeah, thank you very much, Pam. And actually, kind of in honor of Prairie's legacy, Pam still controls the Prairie and Infoplex domains, and that's great. Hopefully we can. I think I'll try to send her some money to register the domain for a little bit longer, so we're not just chasing every year. But yeah, it's all about build versus buy, right? In fact, this is kind of fun, and this is like a self-hosting kind of legacy. Well, any of you heard of Skylab.org? Yeah, any of you users of Skylab.org? Okay, a few. Yeah, maybe some. Skylab.org was founded back in 1997, and that was an internet co-op because we're not ISPs, but we want to put stuff on the internet. And Dr. Chris Latner, who I think some of you know, just sold his AI company to Qualcomm last week. Well done, Chris. We had Skylab.org's first server, which was magic.hurrah.com and Skylab.org. That's in his dorm room. This is a Red Vines full of computer junk, because Chris liked Red Vines. Not that you'll go see him talk and give him Red Vines. I don't know how he'd react, but just fun.
We're gonna try.
Fun stuff. They'll be like, why is that? I can give more fun Chris Latner facts after the meeting, I suppose. But yeah, single point of failure, right? We had so many single point of failures, and we realized that we had to reduce them. In fact, this is not really a risk factor. It was pretty much trending to 100% risk factor because Pam didn't even know about the domains. I didn't even know about the list of domains that Prairie had. So I'd say, hey, Pam, time to renew infoplex.com or time to renew prairie.net. So it was really trending towards 100% of failure. And that would have totally wiped out all of those domains on that list to the right. When you have at least some level of succession or a family member that kind of knows how to log in and keep things alive, then it kind of goes down. Really what we wanted to do is we wanted to minimize the risk that we had to the domain subsequently. So doing cross-organizational replication of our domains became an important thing. And I remember asking like the pork bun people, because they're local to Sherwood, and I said, hey, you want a secondary? And I think one of the co-founders said, yeah, we'll be your secondary. And then I sent a reply back in May saying, all right, we're ready for the secondary. And they went, we don't do web hosting. And I went, okay. So that's okay. That was just that person that was not used to the conversation that we were having prior. So I reached out, and so Jessica Parsons, who's also one of the portland.or.us users and has a very nice Markdown-based weblog and Markdown-based utilities, very nice. She agreed to be one of the secondaries, and then I realized that in some of the
Or insisted that agreed. Insisted that I would be a secondary.
we
I was increasingly frantic that last week.
So sorry about that, but you were a good sport. So thank you very much. I looked at some of the zones, and I also saw that PSG.com was a secondary, and so I went, oh, Eureka! That's Randy Bush. He's the Internet Authority. So I reached out and I basically said, I tried to give all of the shibboleths that I knew. I was like, hey, it's too bad that Rain.com is owned by Bahraini cryptocurrency guys, and basically tried to make as many references to Rain.com to show that I was like a legitimate person coming and not just trying to do domains. And Randy was very gracious in being a secondary and kind of peppering some cool technical stuff that he was working on, and I'm still really appreciative of that. Yeah, kind of old versus new. I mean, if you factor in Linode and Google, that operational cost was probably about $80. I can't be totally certain because I never saw the Google Workspaces bill, but he had a lot of domains that he was doing different stuff with. It's $11 a month now. It's Linode and Fastmail. The internet, after we rapidly deployed, we have taken into doing self-managed Git off of the Prairie.net infrastructure. So we can now, if something went away or if one of us were to disappear, we have redundancy. We have some backups, and so we have this kind of better world to be redundant, better world to endure. We want to endure, right? There's no shortcut to experience. The quote is redacted. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you. There were people that were reviewing these slides and were complaining about the text, but it's very pithy, I can tell you. Okay, how many of you know about Cable Sasser? Panic.com? One of the coolest Portland technology companies that's here. He founded or co-founded it, and he did a presentation at XOXO Festival last year, and it's a fantastic talk where he goes into a McDonald's. All the McDonald's are turning gray and really soulless. They're just not colorful or fun anymore. He went into a Centralia, Washington McDonald's and saw like basically a hand-painted mural with all of these characters. It's an amazing mural, and he was quite taken aback, and he saw it signed as Wes Cook, and he goes down the search of who is Wes Cook, what are the amazing things that Wes Cook did, and it's a very charming presentation, and I will not spoil the very end, but it's quite exciting. Fantastic. Any of you know about Jason Scott? Okay, so a few of you. Jason Scott works for the Internet Archive. He also has this kind of rogue group of enthusiasts called the Archive Team. So let's say a service is going offline, and there's salvageable or interesting human information. archive team will basically do a DDoS of information grabbing and preserve it. So it's a little bit old, the presentation, but archive team still persists, and Internet Archive is still around. And if you go to infoplex.com, it is basically preserved in Amber. And all of the domains that Prairie lost, I'm still making connections to the Internet Archive versions of those others. So you can take a look at what Iowa.net was like back in the 90s and still feel like you're in the Midwest as a technologist. Yeah, the call to action. This is AI slop. Try to find all the errors. Really, frankly, this is a ton of just words up there, but really, there are people that you know that have a whole bunch of digital stuff out there, and they have not chosen a succession plan or done any of that. Just have a chat. Just say, hey, are you going to have, like, where's your data? Does anybody know your password? What happens when this bill stops getting paid? And we're living in, oh, go ahead, Randy.
How do you do this securely?
I think that it depends on the trust of the individual that you're taking care of.
Yeah.
And really, you have to do those nuances. And sometimes security by obscurity ends up coming into play because there's no other way to do it on the level of technical. I don't think that my mother is ever going to sign a GPG to decode something or encode something. But yeah, it's a great problem. There's potentially, I hear the OpenID group might be doing something with the digital estate. So maybe there'll be a future talk on that. But yeah.
This is why I came. This slide. This was going to be about legacy maintenance. Not more damn domains. And just to try to roll the subject forward a little, I have everything in encrypted text file, GPG, and 2 trusted co-conspirators. One of them you probably know, Steve Bellevin, another father of firewalls, and another. Have copies encrypted to them, and my family knows how to contact them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't handle billing,
Yeah.
payments, subscriptions. It handles access to them, but it doesn't say what's happening. And we were just at the right meeting in Edinburgh, and this came up, and we're starting to try to have some discussions about what's in this space and what do we do. And we'll notice a lot of gray hair in this room. And there's probably, this is why, not about DNS. This is the, perhaps the DNS is the metadata of our own mortality, One
right?
particular incident.
Yeah.
It's a case study.
Yeah, it's a case study.
It's a case
And
study.
an interesting one, but I served too many years in the DNS.
You should actually check out the OpenID group, though. It's a group of people working on exactly that problem and trying to at least document it and hopefully come up with some recommendations.
Could you put it to the plug list, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
There's also a software, I'm not sure what state it's in, but basically takes that digital document that you have and it prints out hard copy on paper. That's just a QR code and you can scan it and it will give you the digital copy that has all the instructions and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
They have like pre-built forms and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't remember what the name of it is, unfortunately. So people are working on it.
It's like this is a start.
You know, people are looking at it.
Yeah, yeah.
We, it's a colleague of mine just last week, his birthday had happened, and people are posting on his Facebook, happy birthday, happy birthday. And he'd been dead for a year. And it was kind of like, it's nauseating. And we want to honor our friends. We want them to live on in our memories, and maybe having a Facebook account is okay. But I reached out to some of those folks and I went, He's been dead. Here's the obituary. Very thankfully, Facebook had the ability to report a deceased person, and I was able to give them links to the obituary, and they took care of that. Probably like in the middle of these well-wishing. At this, yeah, it was not very tasteful, but yeah, this is like we're living in new times, and we used to be in a mixed mode world where, if the computer died, there wasn't a lot there because we had the photographs. So, if the fire happens, we know to grab the photographs to get out of the house. And how do you do that with cloud assets and S3 buckets that we don't have true access to? So it's really more of a pause for your call to action to be thinking about these things. And however good or bad really depends on how much trust and, I would say, technical literacy that your people that you're entrusting to do can handle this. So, yeah, I don't want you guys to feel super down. I think you should guys feel excited that you have a footprint to preserve. But just think about that. And as a minimum, just think about that README file. And, if you care about your friends, just say, hey, what do you want to be remembered for? And maybe you'll get some pithy remark, and then you'll be able to say that after they've died. So I do have a friend in the audience who I talk about as dead pets too much, but nobody noticed that I put a dead pet at the beginning of my slides. So, haha.
You didn't even name the pet. I'm assuming the name was the human in the slide, not the pet.
The cat was. I just divided by 0, so I'll have to take that offline. Yeah, and then obviously AI slop. Yeah, I don't know what time it is. Yeah, we've been here for a while now. I just wanted. I really appreciate the Backstrom family for playing ball with a random stranger calling up after Prairie had died. Randy and Jessica really appreciate being collaborators and secondaries. And then, and the greater locality domain community, there's like people that blog about it. Well, a total of 4 blogs really, but it's charming because it's still something that is vestigial and intimate to our region, because so much of the internet is powered by just a big scalable architecture that removes a little bit of our locality and humanity. So I think it's fun and cute to have MOTDs and log in and see your friends online and be able to interact with them. I think that's meaningful, and maybe bringing back locality domains, at least for Portland, might be a little hint of that. I have bonus things. Oh, here's like a portion of the old zone. I don't think anybody's going to get embarrassed. Kentrox, that they were like the manufacturer of like T1 networking equipment, and their DNS was, or actually I guess their gateway doing everything was Spark 1. Hence the picture. HBTN I think was like a language research organization coming out of Intel. There was one person that I could find out who was associated with HBTN that I said, what was HBTN? Kind of fun to see that Portland's original website was out of the library. That's kind of neat. Don Park disavows knowledge of his domain, but I think his house was called The Stack. So he lived in the Stack. And I put this in here. Oh, by the way, the second internet cafe in Portland was the Millennium Cafe, which moved into the old space of The Habit, cafe@habit.com. And I thought that was super cool. And now it's a hipster eatery because Portland's all about hipster eateries. But the user, actually, the main person behind the Millennium Cafe, has registered 2 domains again for portland.or.us. So I was happy to welcome that person back. And I stuck this in because this is really like, locality domains are predominantly used by the governments, so counties and cities. And so you can actually see the evolution of the name servers here. So here's, they're using their name servers and they're using properly portland.org.us, and then somebody, I don't know, in the early 2000s was like, oh, let's use portlandonline.com, and then that was kind of gauche, and so then they evolved to portlandoregon.gov, because .gov is now the locality. So, yeah. Yeah, and then there's more bonuses. You can read all 4 blogs if you want. Oh, and if you do, we can talk about registering domains if you want. They're very, very charming. Don't just do them willy-nilly. If you want some other Oregon domains, there's another provider effectively in town at shrubbery.net. I like shrubbery.net. Well, yeah. Well, the server's still on, I guess. So, yeah. No, he's been nice. Although I've accidentally carbon copied him on emails in the past. Yeah. Then reach out to your friends. I guess any questions, or we can always adjourn.
No,
if they're embarrassing questions, you can always come to me very quietly and ask them. So
we can do a little applause and then we'll have more
very good. Do you want to see some DNS queries happening right on the server? No? Yes. Come on. I show you. Look at this. Oh, look at here. Hold no, I'm going to show you. I just want to show you. Like I just logged in, and like for some frickin' reason, Marshalltown, Iowa, has had like 3,600 DNS queries in the past I don't know, 20 minutes. They're Microsoft. It's Microsoft stuff. So like here's Marshalltown. But and actually you see some Portland stuff, which is kind of cool. There was one user who I saw their domain entry flicker by very quickly, and I went, oh, I haven't seen this one, and I've been trying to track that person down and go, hey, you want your old domain back?
So where does ci.portland.u, or does that go to their website?
That goes to Portland. That goes to portlandoregon.gov. Yeah. So by the way, this is DNS top, so you can actually see okay, what's the first level, second level, third level, fourth level, fifth level, sixth level, seventh level, and it's all dorky stuff. But so much of these weird statistics get abstracted behind a pretty panel, and no one actually knows what queries are being made. So this is kind of fun. Eric Spyshek Thomas, he was a cool guy, he was not combative in the email thread, so
He was not?
He was not. So people are generally nice, especially if there's a community that you're kind of resurrecting. I think people are generally appreciative. Yeah. All right, you guys see, it's a Linux user group. You get to see a command line. It's not. Wait, where? Do we?
That was on the original.
Oh yeah, Urbana. So that was. I think that the city took that over. So if you go to, it's funny because somebody created a. I'm going to. I'll show you where I'm going. If this loads.
Senior recommendations. What can we learn about you?
This is an e-waste laptop.
This is the default.
So this is default. Maybe fooders.com, which is a very nice website. But that's what I get for saying, oh, I'm going to run Nginx. I'm going to have HTTP3 and quick actually run the web server. That's probably a dumb choice. So you guys will have to play the home game and click on the bottom of that website and just go, okay, I can search for my own localities and see who runs them. There's a person in, a lot of attention was brought towards the Seattle domain on like, hey, I tracked down this registrar who's still around, and I was able to get sleepless.seattle.wa.us. It's charming, it's nice. But I think that a lot of the people that were reading Hacker News probably were uncreative and just are doing all Seattle domains. So we'll see how much tolerance for new domains that registrar has. Randy.
So what's your crew doing about legacy maintenance?
It's a good question. Yeah, so right now what we have is we have our self-hosted Git repo. The thing is, if the Git repo goes away, everything still survives. And so if someone were, and actually we have a README that says, hey, if you're reading this, we were checking out of here, but if you're seeing this, everything will survive. It's not dependent on the Git repository being the everything in control. So if any part of the data goes away, we still have a backup. Whether we're going to, I don't know, replicate the repo and all that history, maybe we will. But it gets to a point where it's a small server and we got to make compromises. And I think that probably amongst the multiple people that are operating it, and those copies that we're making, as well as the server being geographically separated and the multiple organizations running those zones, that it will be good enough. One of the challenges that we have is that should that IP address associated with prairie.net kind of go away, might be a little bit painful because we haven't moved the whois information for all of those domains that Prairie was responsible for into a portal that we can update quickly. There's a new portal called locality-management.us that runs all of that for the locality users. And I've made requests to migrate all that stuff into something that could be logged into. Right now, someone would just have to have access to the email, and hopefully they will respond in time. Supposedly, I'm supposed to get a DocuSign that agrees to their management of these domains and move it into the portal. So there are some bureaucratic things and some single points of failure that are.
So you have shared passwords. Do you have shared encryption?
We have shared encryption, yes.
And you have informal protocols of who has control at the moment.
We have ongoing communication via encrypted chat, where 2 of the 3 of us are doing updates frequently, and 1 is more offline.
And Git is your savior, and everybody's got copies from the last book on their laptop, and
Yes.
you've got a repo.
And they're not on USB sticks, just floating around.
Remember what a USB stick was?
I'm guessing there's no DNSSEC for any of this.
Louder?
DNSSEC?
I don't think so.
Because that would have been real fun to transfer.
Yeah.
None of these I've noticed are signed.
Yeah.
I just don't remember whether you managed to set up TSIG or not.
I don't think so. So, yeah, a lot of this is still built on trust. And maybe if this stream goes out and people realize that there are exploitable holes, then maybe there will be another talk where I apologize to everybody. Yeah. Whoops. So, yeah. Sorry.net.
See, I thought about doing that, but I don't have big on my phone. So somebody is scripting 10 queries and update to hi Ryan.
Oh, hey, nice. Hi, Ryan. Oh, I don't know who's doing that. That's very nice.
So I'm a,
That's very that's nice that someone's doing that.
I'm a question.
I mean, we could. Yeah, I don't know how many the secondaries are getting for Hi Ryan as well. So, yeah.
Someone's sending a message.
Anyway.
Hey Ryan.
Yeah. I guess if the Twitch feed is not being monitored, then you have to submit your question
Suspect
via
that it's
DNS
coming from
query.
inside the room.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, take care of your friends. Everybody dies, so say hi to people and try to be social. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah. So actually, on that point, because you've touched on this a few times, I guess my question is, do you have any is there anything you've learned or any suggestions you have for when you're writing these readmes and these documenting and you're putting tools down, you're naming the tools and you're doing all that stuff? Because someone has like a digital footprint. We're hobbyists, we're gonna be very custom about it, right? So if this needs to be handed off to someone else, how do we make sure that it's intelligible?
So the idea is that you're writing for the scope and understanding of the audience. So you could be very technically thorough, but if your spouse can't decode the GPG encoded text file, then that's not going to be fun. So the QR code is a good idea, but then how do you secure the QR code? So it ends up being, the way that I see it is security by obscurity. So some people still have safe deposit boxes. Maybe that works. Maybe that's something. But it's you have to draw the line at the hope that they'll be able to take care of everything. Like the everybody laments the everybody becoming stupid now. And so if you have to worry about that, then write it so that a stupid person could still preserve it.
I wonder if maybe we could benefit from some simple standardized procedures for people, because I've done tech support for people in the photography industry, and that a lot of people who are independent photographers, they're not part of a company, they just do it for themselves. But as it turns out, they all store decades worth of photos the same way. They buy the same set of hardware and they format the files, the folder structure the same way. So, and they actually do use safety deposit boxes a lot of times where they will put hard drives off-site. But after talking to them for a few years and kind of troubleshooting their device, their equipment, I would always see them going through the same folder structure in terms of they were all following the same YouTube videos, they were all doing it the same way. So if one photographer, dies and someone else needs to pick up their work, they'll be able to find the history within the Photoshop world and all of that. So it would be easy for them to transfer.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we, in the, internet world, we can benefit from something that's doesn't necessarily have to be super,
If the photographer was a Mac user and then, the cousin only has a crummy Windows system and then plugs in that LaC drive, one of 20, and goes, oh, it's blank. Okay, I can reuse this.
Or it pops up that button that says reformat.
Yeah, my goodness. So, yeah. Oh, Randy.
I would note that what worked for Prairie's domains, where they found a geek.
It's just lucky.
In my case, I have it set up for a geek, or actually one of two geeks, because geeks who are my friends tend to be old. And pointers to them. I think the footprint we're leaving, whether we're hobbyists or in the profession, are not simple footprints. And it's going to take a geek to decode and find an intermediary that your family knows.
Yeah.
And that's what I've come up with so far.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's great, and you have an example of it.
Yeah. So.
And they didn't find you, you found them because something broke. Which is not cool.
You can always hire an attorney to be that person. You leave a set of documents with them in their No. They're basically now the, what do you call that?
The executor?
Custodian or something.
Yeah, the
Escrow.
escrow
Yeah.
holder of this type of
It's not the
stuff.
documents, we can transfer the documents, it's understandable.
Right, that's your job.
No, it's gonna be stuck with my
Yeah.
family. Somebody's gonna have to interpret that.
Yeah.
No, Randy, he's gonna be here
Randy,
forever.
you
we're
have
gonna
to
rely on him.
write, you have to write them a story that they will not be able to understand.
That's the problem.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can just
call
bring it
this
to the-
person,
Just bring
and
the
then-
hard disk to the clinic and we'll fix it.
I mean, that's actually not a bad idea. If
Yeah.
you know there's clinics and places like that, if you put that at the top of your README, if you don't understand this, here's a few places you could probably go.
Right.
It's funny, nobody's made the comment about the friend coming in and removing the dubious internet history or anything like that. So.
Oh, I did that last week.
Okay. I think any other,
Any more
well,
questions?
questions or comments we can all share over a different venue too.
Correct.
Maybe it would be better to go someplace else this time because
Name it.
Patty's is probably going to be, maybe
The-
you know, like the old.
The Lucky Lab in Northwest was one,
yeah, Lucky
right?
Oh, well, there's the thought.
There's
Oh, hang on, there are hours problems there. You know, do we know how late they're open?
But we finished early this time.
The best place is gone, it was right by the Hawthorne Bridge there.
The old Lucky Lab.
No, it wasn't a Lucky Lab, it was, I forgot.
There's the Hawthorne Asylum that has quite a bit of halls.
Yes, on the east side.
It's on the east side, inner east side, but by Hawthorne. It's not too hard to get to.
Hawthorne Asylum.
The Hawthorne Asylum. It's a food cart pod, so it's all ages, but there's
It might be game night.
beer as well.
So Lucky Lab Southeast is open until 10:30, I'm told,
Right.
which is enough. That's-
Yeah. No, that's enough quantity.
What's that?
That's enough quantity.
Yeah. So do we want to do that? Do people want to go there?
Well, east side is better anyway.
There's all the outdoor seating.
So-
There's all the outdoor seating there too.
So
Yeah,
Lucky
yeah,
Lab,
Lucky
Southeast
Lab,
Parliament?
Southeast.
Okay.
Hawthorne.
Patty's will be.
I can take 2 people if
I'm shotguns,
and
but I'm deploying right now, so you have to wait.
Yeah, just for reference, whenever you're telling people you're going to meet at Lucky Lab, tell them which one. Because otherwise,
Yeah,
somebody will
that-
go to the wrong one, and it'll be a half an hour before.
I
they
mean
get
it's there's good redundancy, but it's not very social.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's the one on Hawthorne.
Hawthorne, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Or Hawthorne and that adjacent street. Yeah, Mass. Between Hawthorne and Mass.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
On request for Lucky Lab.
Yeah. Any more any last questions or comments?
Last wishes.
All right then.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.